The OceanGate sub didn't fail suddenly. It failed exactly the way experts warned it would. Years before the dive. Years before the tragedy. So the real question isn't what happened underwater. It's why no one stopped it. In June 2023, a small experimental submersible named Titan began its descent into the North Atlantic Ocean. On board were 5 people, sealed inside a pressure vessel no larger than a minivan. Their destination was the wreck of the Titanic, lying nearly 3,800 meters below the surface, or about 12,500 feet. At that depth, sunlight does not exist. Radio signals do not travel. Rescue is nearly impossible. From the very beginning, this was one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Yet the dive was marketed as a unique experience, an expedition, a once-in-a-lifetime journey. For a while, everything appeared normal. Then communication stopped. Within hours, concern turned into urgency. Search vessels were dispatched. Military aircraft scanned the ocean surface. Sonar equipment searched the depths. Governments from multiple countries joined the effort. For days, the world watched in suspense. But as experts quietly explained behind the scenes, the most likely outcome was already known. When debris from the Titan was discovered, investigators confirmed the reality. The submersible had suffered a catastrophic implosion. Instantaneous, complete, unsurvivable. On board the Titan were 5 people. OceanGate's CEO, Stockton Rush, British explorer Hamish Harding, veteran Titanic diver Paul-Henri Narjolet, and Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son, Suleiman. All 5 entered the same vessel. All 5 trusted the same system. All 5 paid the same price. And yet, this outcome was not unexpected. OceanGate never presented itself as a conventional exploration company. Its mission was bold. It claimed to be revolutionizing deep-sea travel. Instead of relying on government funding or academic institutions, OceanGate wanted private citizens to explore the deepest parts of the ocean. To do that, they needed something different, something cheaper, something lighter, something innovative. At the center of this vision was Stockton Rush, OceanGate's founder and CEO. Rush believed that traditional safety standards were holding innovation back. He openly criticized regulatory bodies and certification agencies. In his view, excessive caution prevented progress. Risk, he believed, was necessary. This mindset would shape every critical decision. One of those decisions was material choice. Traditional deep-sea submersibles use thick steel or titanium pressure hulls. These materials are heavy, expensive, and difficult to work with. OceanGate chose another path, a carbon fiber pressure hull. Carbon fiber is incredibly strong for its weight. It's used in aerospace, racing, and advanced engineering. But deep-sea pressure is different. At Titanic depth, pressure reaches more than 380 times atmospheric pressure. That force presses inward from every direction. Metal responds by deforming gradually. It bends. It gives warning before failure. Carbon fiber does not behave that way. It weakens internally over time. It develops microscopic fractures. And when it fails suddenly. This behavior is well known in engineering circles. That's why, in 2018, a group of experienced deep-sea engineers sent a formal letter to OceanGate. The letter warned that Titan's design posed serious safety risks. It emphasized that operating without independent certification could result in catastrophic consequences. The experts urged OceanGate to submit the vessel for proper classification and testing. OceanGate chose not to. Concerns didn't come only from outside. Former employees later described internal warnings. Engineers raised doubts about hull monitoring systems. Others questioned the lack of long-term fatigue testing. One employee reportedly refused to approve the sub for crewed dives. Soon after, he was dismissed. Rush rejected the criticism. He publicly described safety concerns as exaggerated. At one point, he stated that safety is a pure waste. To him, regulation was an obstacle. The company continued operating. In extreme environments, certification is not bureaucracy, it is survival. Organizations like DNV and ABS exist because innovation alone does not prevent failure. Certification forces engineers to assume that something will go wrong. It demands redundancy. It demands margins. It demands proof. OceanGate believed its own testing was sufficient, but self-certification is not certification. On the final dive, the Titan began descending as it had before. Then communication stopped completely. There was no distress signal, no emergency ascent, no warning. Experts later explained why. The implosion would have occurred in milliseconds, faster than human perception, faster than pain or fear. The pressure hull collapsed instantly. There was no chance of survival. The ocean did not suddenly become hostile that day. It had always been hostile. What changed was human judgment. Warnings existed, risks were known, standards were available. But confidence replaced caution. This pattern is not new. In 1912, the Titanic sailed at full speed through icy waters. Warnings were received. Ice was known. But belief in technology erased fear. More than a century later, different machines, same mindset. OceanGate knew this could happen, not because they predicted the exact moment, but because experts explained the consequences of ignoring limits. The tragedy was not hidden at the bottom of the ocean. It was visible years earlier, in warnings, in decisions, and in confidence unchecked. So here's the real question. Which modern technology are we trusting today? Not because it's proven safe, but because we want to believe it is.